liposuction, fat transfer, BBLs, how to lose that hanging belly, how to get healthy. Those individuals, larger individuals, you might start struggling with health issues like diabetes, hypertension, even PCOS. There's just some disease processes that liposuction is actually fairly good at treating. And it's non-traditional, so maybe you've been struggling with these issues, you've been trying traditional treatments through medications, you've been trying diet and exercise, things of that nature. But we've been getting a lot of pretty amazing stories of larger individuals who have medical issues that after liposuction it's improving. And to be honest with you, that's what gets me going in this whole thing is I feel like we're making a bigger difference here than just the cosmetic stuff. The cosmetic stuff is great and you look good, but there's way more to it than just that. Losing this belly, getting that stomach out away from you, it makes your whole life easier in so many different ways. Just having that belly out so bending forward is easier, twisting, going up and down stairs, buying clothes, simple things like buying clothes that fit you. It's a big deal for these women who are now able to do it. And you were not able to buy clothes off the rack. That's a struggle. It's frustrating, annoying, I'm sure. So it's a big thing. But lately, I've had quite a few patients that are telling me their medical conditions are improving and some odd stuff. Recently we had that patient that claimed her PCOS was substantially resolved. This young lady right here, and she actually just followed up with me the other day and just telling me how happy and excited she is about the life changes that are happening to her. And that's exciting to me. And it's exciting to see how people continue to push forward, because it's one thing to get these results, and a lot of people will get these results and then they'll sit back and be like, oh yeah, I got it, yeah, awesome, and they just stay right there. They don't change, they don't improve, they don't do any better after that. They continue eating the same way, they continue with the same lifestyle, and nothing changes. And they get this only for a short period of time. And it's frustrating to me, it's frustrating to them. So I'm sharing this with you so that you don't make the same mistake. Because I know that the people that succeed with their life changes are the ones that continue along the path. Because if you think it's just like a short, like dead end street, like you just do this and then you're done and you can be done the rest of your life, you're sorely mistaken. It's so important that you change the lifestyle habits that you're doing, because the habits that you do on a day-to-day basis, they accumulate into what you are now. And the body is like the scorekeeper. It keeps track. And you can tell people that you're doing things, I'm dieting, I'm running, I'm eating right, I'm not eating at all. Whatever you tell people, that's great, but it doesn't really matter to anyone else, because ultimately everything comes down on you. It's solely you in your body. So all the actions, good or bad, that you take are going to be recorded in the body. So if you're not pushing yourself to improve, then you're slowly declining. It's either you're improving or declining. It's you think of this like fruit, right? As soon as the banana gets ripe, it starts decaying and dying. Okay, humans are the same way. As soon as we get to this idea of where we believe we're ripe, like we're set, we've arrived, we're there, it's a slow decline from there. And depending on whether you decide that you want to maintain your body, maintain your mind, maintain the natural being of every aspect of your body, when you want to put forth the effort to improve, then you'll start improving again. And you can make a choice. It's a choice. You may have been sitting on the side. You may have, when you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you decided, hey, I'm comfortable here. I like it. I like my house. I like my family. Everything's cool. I like the clothes that I have. I'm just gonna stay right here. And it's like you're pulling over to the side of the road. I'm just gonna park here. And some people just park and they stay there and they don't change. However, everything around them changes. It's inevitable. Life changes. Everything changes. It's a constant change. It may not visibly be seen to you or understood, because something's changed slower and you don't see it until it becomes much bigger until it compiles, it grows. Like your belly for one thing, right? So you might have a donut today and your belly gets no bigger. You might not go to the gym today and you don't get any bigger. Everything stays the same. So in your mind, you might think it's no big deal. I can eat these bad foods and it's not a big deal because as long as I do it only once in a while. And that's the illusion. That's the lie that we tell ourselves. And if you keep telling yourself these lies, these negative things start mounting up and they become the bigger problems. So what I know is that getting this procedure, it will absolutely make these big ass changes. Big changes, big dramatic changes. We can do this for you. However, if you don't make the changes in your lifestyle, you don't make those changes in your daily habits, it's inevitable that you will just reproduce the same problems. Whatever your problems are, unless you change the things that you do, you will just continue to recreate the same problems. That's scary. So that's why you need to really take this seriously and decide. It's a decision. See, today is the day that you change. You got to make that decision. Today is the day that you're not going to accept any of this crap anymore. You're not going to accept this continuing to gain weight. You're not going to accept this decline in your health. No. Instead, you're going to start taking actions to do things to improve yourself. And I don't know what that means for you. It just depends on what level you're at, right? You might be at the level where you've been really struggling. You've been parked for a decade and you got lots of improvement to do. Whether that's improving and drinking more water or being more active or getting better sleep. Let's see, Rosa says, are you put completely to sleep? No, we do not do that. All of our procedures are done at a local anesthetic. It's called the tumescent technique. It's by far the safest procedure, safest way to do the procedure. However, there are plenty of plastic surgeons that do this the old way. And I say plastic surgeons because they're pretty much the only ones that still do it the old way, where you do general anesthesia for liposuction. It's not necessary by any means. Liposuction can be done under local anesthetic, can be done safely, and people do well. Now, clearly, it's not for everybody. There are some people that, they like this illusion to believe that it's just as easy as being put to sleep. Unfortunately, that's just not how easy it is. The medications that they give you for general anesthesia, which puts you to sleep, really what it does is it cuts off your consciousness. So your consciousness, your mind, you are not aware anymore. And because when it does that, it actually stops you from breathing as well. So it's all the functions of your body, the breathing stops, and so they have to put a tube down your throat to breathe for you. And in that process, you have a machine that breathes for you during the procedure. Now, clearly, if some mistakes happen, issues happen, that's not a good situation. So, real quick on a reminder, we do have this 15% off special going on right now. In order to take advantage of this special, you're gonna have to place a deposit by the end of this month, and then you have the procedure by the end of next month. So we give you a little bit of time to space it out, get this procedure scheduled, and get it on the calendar for you. Let's see, we got a question here on Instagram. It says, how much is a tummy tuck? Why extended? So we don't do any tummy tucks. No tummy tucks. And all the pictures that you'll see behind me are no tummy tucks. Our patients do not require tummy tucks. In fact, you probably don't require a tummy tuck. But it depends on who you talk to. Because clearly the doctors that offer tummy tucks, they're not going to tell you that you don't need a tummy tuck. Just like, I don't offer a tummy tuck, so I'm not saying you need it. But I have other solutions for you. Liposuction can get these results without a tummy tuck. So I have other options that I have at my fingertips. I have the ability to do this and help out people. We've developed these techniques to get the fat out and make the belly flat without the tummy tuck. Now that's possible. But if you go to someone that doesn't know what I do, they're going to tell you that you need a tummy tuck. So please do your research. If you haven't joined our private Facebook group, jump on the private Facebook group. Many of our previous patients, the people that you see behind me here, these are people that are posting their pictures in the private Facebook group. So it's a safe place. You can connect with these individuals, ask them questions, concerns. You can see a lot of people have already asked these questions, all of the questions that you may have had, so you can search the question and see what comes up. So check out our private Facebook group, and you're gonna go to over to Facebook and search My Shape Lipo Support Group. Okay, red nose. Say most people say they don't get enough local anesthesia and they feel pain from your procedure. I'm a guy in Las Vegas, but the rumors about y'all has put me off. You know, red nose. You know, it depends who you listen to. Clearly, if you go watch any of our live procedures, you'll see that nobody feels anything at all. So, you know, are those people lying? Maybe. But then maybe the people that are lying about the as much discomfort they're feeling, maybe they're lying too. But here's the thing: everybody's different. Some people don't tolerate things well. It's like when you go to the dentist, and some people they're able to numb up easily, and other people aren't. You know, it is what it is. So we put as much medication as we can. When you ask for it, we put more in there. So it's not like we're withholding. However, there are limitations on what we could do, particularly when we do larger individuals. We have endpoints and limitations on how much of the numbing medication we can utilize in one procedure. So we'll utilize as much as we can. We'll do everything that we can to keep you safe and comfortable as much as possible. And you know, it is what it is. Some people tolerate things much better, and it's not necessarily means that they're feeling a lot more pain. It's just some people just tolerate it because the whole thing is weird. The whole process is weird. I've had the procedure myself, and it is a bizarre sensation. But you know, if it's not for everybody. You know, if you feel like you can't tolerate things, then you look at the general anesthesia, and when you see all the issues that come with general anesthesia, you might be like, well, maybe I can tolerate liposuction with local, because there's a lot of issues, lots of issues that come with the general anesthesia, and there's consequences, lots of big consequences that come with general anesthesia. So you may choose to go that route and take the risk, or you may choose not to. So we're just here to help you if you're, whenever you're ready. So how much for the 360 lipo? I'm glad you asked that. So you're going to go to our website, myshapelipo.com, and we have a quick quote system. It's the ability for anyone. So you can, while we're speaking right now, you just go to our website, you click on the link for the quick quote, and enter some basic information. So based off of your BMI, we're going to calculate the BMI, which then categorizes you into our different pricing structure as well as our safety protocol for recommendations. So with the quick quote, based on your BMI, we can give you fairly accurate quotes for the liposuction procedures, as well as keep you within the safety protocol based on your BMI. So what I mean by that is larger individuals will carry their weight differently, so the recommendations are differently what we can do in a single procedure. Each individual, based on your BMI, is going to have different limitations. We can remove a certain amount of fat that your body will tolerate. We can also utilize a certain amount of numbing fluid. All of this is calculated, and so based off of your BMI, we can figure out approximately how much fat can be removed, as well as how much of the numbing medication. So we have to then create a procedure and recommend procedures that we can maximize the amount of fat that we get off the individual while keeping it safe. So what does that mean? Smaller individuals, we may be able to do 360 lipo because we're able to get that much fat because they don't have a substantial amount of fat. So we're able to get that much off and do the whole 360 lipo, which would then also require the numbing medication. So with smaller individuals, we can do that. As you get larger, you're carrying a larger amount of fat on the front of the abdomen. And when that happens, we're just limited. We're limited because once we maximize and get all the fat out of there, that's all on that area here. Now to try to go around and do the backside, then we have to double, and we get extensively more fat, which then causes problems for the patients and could cause side effects that we don't want. So our job is to stop you from hurting yourself. Now we can definitely help larger individuals, but we have to keep it safe for you because we don't want any problems, and I'm sure you don't want any problems too. This is a cosmetic procedure. Let's see, officially Rocca says everyone's pain level varies. Absolutely, everyone's different, and it's so hard to give recommendations that fit everybody. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. People are so different. Their perspective is different. Their tolerance to things is different. I mean, you have some people which might say that it was no big deal, it was not a problem at all. Then other people are saying it's like the worst thing ever. And who's right? I don't know. But you'll see the same thing in life. You got some people that are over exaggerators, they're drama, and they're victims. So when people come in there and saying that like everything's against them, and then it's they never do well in things and they always struggle. Those people will struggle in this as well. But there's other people that uh, they're tough, and they know they're tough, and they know they're strong, and they know they can tolerate things, and they know that they're mentally tough, and that even though if things get challenging, they can push through it because in most cases they want it really bad. So I read a quote recently that said, with a strong enough why, nearly anybody can get through the how. So what does that mean? If you want this so bad, and the reasons why you want this are so strong with you, how it happens, it doesn't even matter anymore, because you want it so bad that you'll do whatever it takes. Some people are to that point, some people aren't to that point. So I don't like to force that onto you, but most of our patients that are ready to change their life, they're so sick and tired of all the other crap, the fat that they carry, the life, the health issues that they are incurring because of carrying this much fat, the limitations, whether it's physical limitations, mental limitations, the lower self-esteem that comes with carrying that much weight. All these things, they compile on you, and they like, it's like the monkey on their back. And eventually, the patients that really take advantage of this situation, the ones that will do anything to take advantage of this situation, those ones are the ones they're so sick and tired of the crap. It's like today is the day. I'm making the decision now. I'm going to change my life. And it doesn't matter what has to be done, you're going to do it. And once you get to that point, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that you're going to change your life. It's just a matter of time. It's a mindset. See, those people that are like, they're worried about the pain. Oh my gosh, I'm worried about the pain. It's going to hurt. Those are the people that said, I should change. And listen to the words I say, I should change. And when they say I should change, when it comes up to it's going to be painful. Oh, no, I should have changed, but it's going to be painful, so I'm not going to. See, that's the excuse that most people use. And they preempt their excuse by the language that they utilize. So pay attention next time you're using words in your life. Pay attention. When you say, I should go on a diet, all that is, when you use the word should, it's leaving an opening for failure. When you change the words that you use, see, the subconscious hears the words that you say. So the words that come out of your mouth will be heard by the subconscious, and the path will be followed. So change the words that you use, and you'll change the path that you're on. When change becomes a must, it's different than I should. When you must change, then there's no exit. There's no, well, if I don't change, I'm going to do this. Or if something happens, I'm going to not change. Or if it rains, I'm going to not do this. Or if something happens, I'm going to change. No, that's not what comes with a must. With a must, when you say I must change and I must do this, it's you have to. You don't leave a choice for yourself. And that's so important for the subconscious, because how many times do you get these little excuses, these little things that pop up that they're like, let's call them like speed bumps, to go slow you down. And when you don't have a strong enough why, you're like, well, I should be doing liposuction. I should be getting thinner. I should be getting healthier. I should be. When you should all over yourself, it's inevitable that you're going to fail. But as soon as it becomes a must, I must change, I must get healthier. As soon as you start thinking that way, you're going to start doing the things that are necessary. And what's the strong why? Why would you want to do this stuff? I'm 45 years old. I have 3 kids, and they're getting older now. My oldest is 15, and I want to be around to see my kids go to college. That's one landmark, right? Or a moment in time. I want to see them get married. I want to see them have kids of their own. I want to be healthy enough. I want to be active enough to be able to play an active role in my kids and my grandkids' lives. It's important to me. So because it's important to me, I do everything that is necessary to stay healthy. Everything. Because I don't want to just live to see my grandkids born. I want to live to see my grandkids go to college. I want to live to see my great grandkids. And I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I believe it. Maybe you don't believe it, but I believe it. And I'm going to start acting as if it's true. I'm going to act as if I'm going to live another 50, 60, 70 years. I'm going to act as if that's true. And in order to survive and thrive for that long period of time, I got to take care of this body. I got to take care of my mind. I got to take care of my teeth. These teeth are going to fall out, right? So I take care of it. Well, the same thing with your body. This is the only body that you get for this lifetime. It's given to you. And the things that you do, they either make the body better, they build it up, or they tear it down. All right, I got some questions here. Okay, can I get lipo while on blood thinners? So you cannot get lipo while on blood thinners. However, there are protocols for transitioning off of blood thinners for the period during a procedure. It's standard protocols, because there's many people who on blood thinners. So what we would do, the process, the way this works, is we would get you cleared through your treating physician, and typically they will recommend a protocol to follow for the blood thinners, and we just follow the protocol. Let's see, I have a high BMI. Can I come back for multiple sessions to get closer to the version body I'm trying to achieve? Yes, but it's not like what you're thinking. And I was just explaining to this consultation earlier today. I don't ever plan on doing the same area of your body twice. And what I mean by that is my plan is to do it right the first time, so you will never need liposuction in that area again. For example, you might have said, hey, this lady, she wants to get liposuction and then come back and get liposuction on the same area because she's not going to get the results. But the reality was that she got the results the first time. See, this is one procedure on the front of the abdomen, and this is why we focus and isolate and treat an isolated area to maximize the amount of fat that we get off of you to get the biggest, most dramatic change. Now, many of the other doctors, the reasons why they're not doing this is what they do is they'll sell you on your 360 lipo and charge you a substantial amount. However, they'll get the same amount that I got out of the front of this belly, they'll get that out of the entire 360. And you can imagine then that the results, they just simply won't be like this. If fat was left behind in here, she would still have that same, that duckbill look where the belly folds right in the middle. It doesn't go away unless you're aggressive. And when you're aggressive, you don't ever have to go back to this. You never have to, because the fat's gone. The fat cells don't reproduce. Now, it's important, as I was saying, to continue with the lifestyle changes, but you shouldn't have to come back. Now, larger individuals, you have more to treat, right? So this is we call it a journey. It's a long process. You get the one procedure, we get it on the front of the abdomen, that's great, we take care of that. Then it's time to do the backside of the waistline. Then maybe it's time to do the upper body, the chin. Then maybe we go down to the legs. All this is something that can be done for you. It just depends on if you're ready, when you're ready, and how aggressive do you want to be. And clearly, this is a lot of work, and it gets expensive. So you don't have to do it all at once. Spread it out. This is your life, but follow the rules from the beginning, meaning change your lifestyle, start improving now, and then continue to get better. You don't have to do everything now, but you have to do something now. You have to start. The 1,000-mile race starts with the first step. You take the first step, and then the next one, and then eventually you realize that how far you've come. When you look back, it's way further than you think, and you've gotten way better than you anticipated. And it gets exciting at that point. Then you start building momentum. And the momentum kicks in, and then you're able to do anything because your confidence is through the roof because you've seen all that you've done previously. You've seen how far you've come. You've seen the changes you've made. And then you realize it's possible. it's possible to do more. Okay, Julia says, where are you located? We are in Las Vegas area. About 85% of our patients are flying in from out of state because we specialize specifically in liposuction, and we get the results that we get. You'll see if you go look at other places, they're simply not getting these results. So you can pay less, you can go to the place closer to you, but if you don't get the results, then you don't get the results. You know, what is that worth to you? You know, our prices aren't exorbitantly high. I'm doing this because I like changing people's lives, and I have the ability to. So right now we have this 15% off special. You have the ability to, you know, get a big discount on this procedure. It might bring this into potential for many more people, hopefully. That's the hope. And we can help change people's lives. We can get rid of these folding bellies, these hanging bellies. It's you know, it's something that you don't have to live with anymore. Where that belly sticks out further than the breast. You don't have to live like that anymore. You don't have to be out of breath going up and down stairs. You don't have to be struggling with diabetes or hypertension. You don't have to do that stuff. You can change. And it's just a simple decision. You just make a decision. And today that decision might be getting liposuction. Tomorrow it might be, you know, changing your diet. The next day maybe it's improving, you know, how much water you're drinking or how active you are. But you just got to keep improving each day, and it's a slow improvement. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be consistent, and it has to be over a long period of time. So if you can keep consistent change, it's got to be consistent. Okay, none of this cheating stuff. These people say, well, I do a little bit here, but then I cheat on the weekends. You're not focused. If you're cheating, then you're not focused. If you're cheating, then you don't care to win. And this is the game of life. And you play it to win or you play it to lose. You know, a lot of people they're just like skating by in life and just getting by barely. They're struggling. They're depressed. They're frustrated. They're unhealthy, and it simply does not have to be that way. It just doesn't. And the traditional way of living our lives, you know, that we were told that you want to, you know, work hard and then someday you're going to retire to the beach and you're going to be sipping margaritas and do nothing with yourselves. That's an illusion for a lot of people. And the truth is once you're sitting on the beach for a week, you're ready to get back to life again and start doing things. At least most people are. But this is also for men. And this is, you know, a lot of girls think that this is just for women and, you know, men aren't doing this, but this is we get a lot of men. About 30% of our patients are men. And, you know, that's important. Why is that important? Because each of you women, you have husbands. And just as much as you want this, in many cases, they probably want their belly gone as well, but it's taboo for our society, right? It's taboo. So men believe that it's not for men, or it's embarrassing, when in fact, The Rock, Dwayne, what's his last name?
I think it's Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, you know, the actor, he's had liposuction, and that was public. And he's a big tough guy, so, you know, plenty of guys get it. It's a great procedure. I've had the procedure, and now I'm 45 years old, and I have a six-pack for the first time ever. You know, I never had a six-pack when I was younger. And I don't want to mislead you into believing that it was only the liposuction, because it wasn't only the liposuction. I worked really hard for it. And I did a lot of exercises and strengthening and working out and dietary stuff. Dietary is huge. If you want to get cut muscles, and you really have to cut down on the fat, and it takes a lot of discipline. So, but because I did that, because I disciplined myself, because I changed my diet, because I exercised so hard, I know what it takes. And that's why I speak the way that I speak. And I'm not speaking just because I think you should. I'm speaking from my personal experience. And not only my personal experience, but I've watched thousands of people go through this process, thousands of people. And I know the people that have better results for the long run, they change. And the interesting thing, and you'll watch if you join our private Facebook group, you'll see that there's been many women that stick around for long periods of time. And those are the ones that have held themselves accountable. Like Stacy, like Rebecca, like they've held themselves accountable, and they continue to hold themselves accountable. And that's why they show up to the group, because they're acting as a mentor for those of you who are in the early stages of this process. And so when Stacy helps you and she answers all your questions, it helps you, yes, absolutely. But it also helps her, because psychologically she's thinking, I got to keep doing, I got to keep, improving, so these people see me as a positive example. Otherwise, you become a negative example. Think about this with your kids. If you're not doing the things that you're telling your kids to do, you are then a negative example, right? So you need to be positive. You need to do things that you want your kids to do, right? Eat the right foods. If you're telling your kids to eat vegetables, you can't be eating garbage. It's not fair. And they won't believe you, and they won't follow you. When you start telling people, when you join the group after you've had the procedure, when you start telling people, hey, this is what you should be doing, this is how I've had success, it's the simple words of saying that stuff as it goes out, it's psychologically, it's your mind will start holding you accountable. And this is the stuff that it happens naturally, but it's part of the process. And this is why we created the group. This is Rebecca here. Rebecca's been around, following us for a few years now, and she's had multiple procedures. She's about to come back for her legs now. So she had her waist done. She had 360 lipo and a BBL. And then she had her back and her arms as well as her chin treated. So she had her upper body. So you see how she's narrowed out. Looks awesome. But most importantly, she's really got motivated and changed her lifestyle. And she's working out and going to the gym. And she's eating properly. And she's drinking plenty of water, and she's acting as an example. And clearly she knows that she's an example. And being an example holds her more accountable. Because look, when you're the example for people, and you're telling you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you turn around and do the exact opposite, these people aren't going to listen to you anymore. And you've lost all of your influence. Now, the exciting thing is once you get that influence, once you have, achieved this body, achieved the results that you're looking for by changing your habits, once you achieve that stuff, it's empowering to you. And when you empower yourself, you then can pass that power on to other people. And you pass it on through language. So you can verbally speak this stuff out to people, and then you show them. Right? People don't believe what they hear, they believe what they see. Seeing is believing. So when you show them what is possible, then they believe it's possible. And that's why, we've had so many people, we're trying to show those individuals that need that visual. They need to see the change to believe it. Okay, so we're showing you the change, but now I'm driving you. Get to the group. You got to get to the group, the private Facebook group. You got to meet with our previous patients, Blanquita. They're there to help you. They're serving as a mentor. They're serving. They're serving you as a mentor because you help them by holding them accountable, and that keeps them going up. That keeps them rising. As they rise, they reach down and they pull you up with them. That's how this magic works. I'm telling you, this stuff's magic. As they rise, they pull you up with them. Because you're like, if she's working so hard, I got to work hard too. And then you actually do. And then you get the results. And then now you have the knowledge. You're like, now I have the knowledge. Now I know how to do it. Now I got to turn around and help someone else. Because now you've gotten the procedure. You've changed your lifestyle habits. You've gotten the results. Now you got to turn around and help someone else. And then when you help someone else, they hold you accountable, and the whole cycle starts all over again. It's a process. This stuff's happening. Look, why do you think that I talk about the law of attraction? Right? I talk about the law of attraction because when you put positive things into the world, positive things come back. Now, how have I been implementing that? Now, some of you maybe you've been following me for a while, so you see what I've been doing. So I've been implementing the law of attraction by verbally speaking what I want. And what I want is I want my patients to be at the point in their life where they are so sick and tired of doing all the things in the past. And they decide enough is enough, and then they're ready to change. Now, I speak that into existence because those of you who are right at that point, you are attracted to that. You are attracted to those words. You're attracted to the idea that now is the time to change. And those people that are attracted to that, those are the people that are scheduling right now. And when those people that come in there and they decide before they come to me that they're changing their lives and this is going to be a massive dramatic change for them, when they actually get to the procedure, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because they push themselves far beyond what they believed was possible just because I painted the picture for them. And then I showed them all the people so they can believe, hey, this is possible. If it was possible for them, it's possible for you. And so these people that had the thought in their mind that they were ready to change, they just weren't sure how, those are the people that are attracted. This is a law of attraction. I speak it out into existence. It's like the words grab onto the people. They grab onto the people who think the same way. And when they think the same way, they're attracted to it. That's the law of the attraction. You're attracted to the things that you're thinking the same way. We're on the same page. We're on the same frequency. We're on the same mindset. We're thinking the same stuff. And when we think the same stuff, it's like I'm speaking to you. Because I know you want to change. I know you want to change. It's just a matter of today's the day. And when you make that decision, then the decision is now. And the actions start. Okay? Right now, we got this 15% off special going on right now. 15% off your procedure costs. These big dramatic changes are now cheaper. It's now more affordable. And if you thought it was your time to change, now is the push. Now is making it a little bit easier for you. Taking away a little bit more of the struggle. We can make it a little bit easier for you. Now, when you're ready to make a change, the next step is getting your quick quote. The quick quote gets you your pricing. So the quick quote is found on our website, myshapelipo.com. Simply click on there, enter some information, and based off of your BMI, we get your quote. The quote's fairly accurate. Now, once you have that quote, that number, and you're excited and you're ready to move forward, the next step is then getting your formal consultation. The formal consultation is a paid consultation. You're going to meet directly with myself. You're going to send in pictures. At that point, we're going to evaluate your whole situation. I'll ask you questions about your medical history, make sure that you're healthy enough to move forward with the procedure. We'll evaluate your pictures, determine what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, and I'll give you my opinion on how I think to accomplish those goals. And then we'll create a plan for achieving that. All right. Okay, Danielle says, 1 more week. So excited. I think I just did your pre-op today, Danielle. Okay, Yannette says, is the full amount owed or paid after the surgeries in full or payments? Okay, so initially to schedule the procedure, to get on our calendar, we require a deposit, and the deposit is 25% of the procedure costs. And then the full amount we'll start collecting about 2 weeks prior to the procedure. Now, those of you who might need financial assistance, there is a finance company that we deal with, and you can apply. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. They can give you a pretty quick quote, and it's based off of your credit worthiness. All right, Vanessa says she did her instant quick quote today. That's awesome. I hope we provided the proper information for you. And there's Stacy. She's like Old Faithful, always shows up. We appreciate you, Stacy. And also we got Sierra from My Shape is on here answering questions. And I think she's on Instagram as well. Keisha says, I need this. Okay, Keisha says, I have a hernia. Do I have to get it removed first? Well, that kind of depends on the hernia itself. But in many cases, we can do the procedure without getting the hernia fixed. Many cases, these hernias, that's like, so a hernia is essentially where the bowels or the innards get pushed out through a hole. So you get like a hole in the muscle, and it'll bulge out through the hole. Now, typically, this will happen around the belly button is the most common, and it's if you have the type of hernia that only bulges out when you bear down. So like when you squeeze your muscles, it'll push out this through the muscle, push the bowels out through the muscle, the hole. If it only happens when you're bearing down, then it's more likely we can do the procedure. Now, if it's always sticking out through the hole, then it probably needs to be fixed. So, in general, the recommendations are if you have a hernia that does require being fixed, then it should be fixed before liposuction. If it doesn't require to be fixed, if it's something that they're leaving alone, then it may be something that we can do, and just kind of work our way around there. There's certain techniques that I utilize to keep things safe, but in most cases, when you're lying on your back, it doesn't bulge out anyways. However, the technique that I utilize, especially around the belly button, is I'll stick my finger into the hole. So I stick my finger into the hole, then I can do liposuction around it, which it keeps all the dangerous stuff below the muscle layer. It's simple, it's easy, it's not technical, but it works extremely well, and I've never had any problems because of it. And as Stacy is stating, we would likely get a medical clearance from the treating physician. And Keisha, join the group. Join My Shape Lipo support group. Stacy's awesome. She's like, I'll give my phone number. Call me. Oh, we appreciate you, Stacy. And Stacy's, man, she's been working so hard on herself. I always see her, taking pictures of her going to the gym or walking or running. And, she's always doing something. She's got a family. She's kids she takes care of, and she lives in I think it's like New Orleans area, struggling with hurricane stuff. Okay, she says it always sticks out. Well, we can get that belly. Sierra's on Instagram too. All right. So those of you who are serious, if you're not serious about living a healthier life, if you're just looking, you just want to look better for today, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. If you're serious though, you're really serious about changing your life, and you're really serious about getting on this path of improvement. It's a path of improvement. See, look, when you're on a downhill slide, you start to look like SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, because you just start filling in. It's that you're not taking care of your body, you're not taking care of your mind, you're not watching what you're eating, you're not active enough. When you don't take care of yourself, your body shows. Your body keeps score. And you know what? It ends up affecting your mind as well, because in your mind, you know what you're capable of. And when you start limiting yourself by gaining too much weight, it gets depressing, because you realize that you're so limited in what you can do that it's frustrating. So when you're ready to change your life and take back the life, because this is really the life is doing. Okay, you can lay down in a grave and do nothing. You have that forever, right? But life is living, life is movement, life is doing. And you can't do unless you're capable. So what we try to do is we try to put our patients in the position to live their best life. And then you take it from there. What is your best life? It's different than my best life. I don't want to do the things that you want to do. But I can tell you that doing the things that you want to do and doing the things that I want to do, they both require energy. And so if you have to use all of your energy to carry around this big load of fat, because that's what you're doing. When you carry around this fat, I was talking to this patient yesterday, she was like, she just realized, she's like, I'm carrying around over 100-pound weight every single day. And I hate it. And I'm sick of it. So at some point, you just decide, I'm sick and tired of carrying around this weight. And I'm done. and then it's ready to change. And when it's time to change, it's about getting serious. No more of this like making excuses and telling yourself you can't do it. No, you got to get people around you that are strong. You got to get people on you that have been through this path before, that know it's possible. That we know it's possible because we've seen it so many times. And I'm telling you, these girls that have been around for a while, they've seen so many people come through. So many people come through that they know. And you can see it's like one step at a time. Okay, you get the procedure. Okay, those people right after you've had the procedure, they need this. So that's what these girls know. They know that the struggle in the beginning. They know the struggle after a month or 2 months. They know the struggle after a year because they've been through it. So you just need to connect with somebody, and I like to call them mentors. Okay, these individuals, they act as a mentor. So if you want to get to where you want to go, like 10 times faster, you get a mentor. And what does a mentor do? They make it so you avoid all the pitfalls and you can go straight to the path. They'll help you because they'll be able to tell you, hey, I did this, I made a mistake, you shouldn't do that. And then you avoid it. And we have so many people that have shared their stories that we help. And we've created this path, and it's just something, now you just have to decide that, hey, I'm gonna get on this path and I'm gonna start going. And this journey is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna push through, and I want these results, and I want it bad. And if you decide, you change. Okay, Kenneth said, I've requested to join the group. All right. We'll get you in there soon, okay? But for me, the funnest thing with this procedure is when I am able to see through the individual's actions in public how they've changed. Like when I see these individuals and they take pictures before and they got this sour look on their face because they're upset with their body, or they're upset with their life, or they're upset with whatever, they're upset with everything. But then afterwards, when they're smiling like this, like you can't stop the smile. When you have perma smile, that's, to me, that just like, it warms my heart and makes this all worthwhile, because it makes me believe that I'm making a difference, that I'm changing someone's life. And I know, because I've seen this now, I've been able to change so many people's lives. So I know that when I'm able to change this young lady's life, her happiness and joy, it spills over to all those people around her. And that's what I like to call the ripple effect. So not only is she happy, but when her happiness spills over to all those around her, it makes those people around her happy. And it inspires them to want to change and do better themselves. And that's how we change the world. It's like one person at a time, but we can ripple out. You know, I can make an impact on you, and you can impact someone else. So therefore, by connection too, I'm making the impact as well. So my efforts will help impact more people, and that's the goal. This is what I'm trying to do. So this is why I try to attract the people that are ready to change their lives. Because if you're ready to change your life, then you're going to help me change. And if you can change your life, you can help change someone else's life. The cycle continues, and we can do this together, as long as you want. I'm here. We got this. We got the private Facebook group. We're inspiring people. We're motivating people. I come out here and talk about this stuff all day long. And I just need other people, my disciples, my followers, those people that are going to stay behind me and speak the same words and encourage the same type of people and draw in the same type of energy, because the people that are ready to change their lives are the ones that actually change them. And there was a quote, those who think are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that actually do. And so I believe, I'm crazy enough to believe that it's possible that my efforts could change the world. I believe it. So I'm going to start acting as if I'm able to change the world. And I do that through my patients. I know physically I can change their life. And so I'm trying to talk to you now mentally. I want you to mentally change your life. I want you to believe that it's possible to change. I want you to believe that you are not limited. All these limitations that have been put on you, these restrictions that you can't do this because you're not healthy, or you can't do this because you're too big, or you can't do this because you don't have enough energy, whatever those excuses are, let's change. And we'll do it together. Okay, Salvameri, it's on Instagram. So do you accept Care Credit? Care Credit specifically, we do not accept. They have a lot of fees and things of that nature, but we do have, as Sierra mentioned in her comment, that we use UMC. It's a credit, it's a finance company, it's a third-party finance company, and you apply with them. The information's on our website under the finance page. After you get your formal consultation, we'll also send you that information as well. See, I drink water. Positive example. Positive example. That's what you need to start thinking about in your life. Are you the positive example for people around you, or are you a negative example? Are you pulling people down? Because look, misery loves company, right? So are you trying to get people to do less, or are you trying to get people to do more? Are you trying to get people to be healthier with you, or are you encouraging people to be unhealthy? What is it that you are? Okay, so Rachel is on YouTube, and she says, my life is better after lipo. I can jog for a mile and not get tired when I could do 2 minutes before lipo. See, that's, these are the little things, right? So Rachel, she's had some awesome changes. She noticed the health changes as well. But it's something that you may not get this procedure with the mindset of, I want to be able to run a mile. But those little things are the benefits. The ability to, do the things, this is Rachel, the ability to do the things that you want to do, that you've been telling yourself that you couldn't do. Because that's usually what happens. You say, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I don't have any energy, too tired, whatever your excuse is, you just have to start acknowledging it and realize that you're just making an excuse for not living your best life. So what I suggest is stop making those excuses and start changing. Start living your best life. And again, you don't have to do it all at once. It's just one step at a time. But you have to make that decision. The decision has to be made. And it doesn't have to be difficult either. If you just make the decision to change your life, liposuction may not be the choice. I'm not saying choose liposuction, I'm saying choose life. Choose the ability to start living in a way that is going to improve your life. And if you can do that, you'll start to improve. And maybe it's just you stay on that path and it brings you whatever it brings you. Maybe you decide you need a little kickstart, or a catalyst, I like to call it. Liposuction is like a catalyst. It's like a chemical reaction. Like you're almost there, you're ready to change, but you're not really sure how. And we pour a little liposuction on you, and you get your fat all taken away. It changes everything, and all of a sudden you look different, and that gets exciting because all those people were like, I was too fat to go to the gym. That was the excuse that they told themselves. I was embarrassed because I didn't want people to see me. That was the excuse they told themselves. All of a sudden, that excuse gets wiped off, and you can't make that excuse anymore. So then you're left like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? So that's where you have to make that decision, and it has to become a must. I must change. I must make a difference. And once you start doing that, it's like you start getting in a routine. And this is where the power of habits come in. When you start doing things on a regular basis, what it does is it creates a neural pathway. What does that mean? So in our brain, every time we do one thing, imagine it's like laying a cord, okay? And one cord by itself you could break, okay? But if you do it once, repetitions twice, repetitions 3 times, You do it again and again and again. Those are habits. When you do something every single day, it becomes a habit, right? And eventually, since you've done it so many times, you create like a rope and it gets strong. Okay? This is like brushing your teeth, right? You were told when you were young, brush your teeth. So every day you brush your teeth, you brush your teeth, you brush your teeth, and it's become a habit. And you probably do exactly the same thing every single time. It's probably exactly the same pattern. Think about it. It's the exact same pattern. You start with one side, you brush here, then you brush over the other side, or up top, whatever you do, you've created some type of pattern. Okay, the truth is you've done that with everything in your life. It's a pattern. They're all patterns. You created these habits. Okay, maybe you didn't create them. Maybe someone else gave them to you and you just did it. And maybe now you're doing things you don't even know why. Those are the habits that you have to change. Because in many cases, you're doing things that are actually causing harm. And the truth is that you didn't even do it to you. Someone else did it to you. And you just kept doing it because it became a habit. So what I'm telling you is it is possible to change. Just because you've been doing something, you've been comfortable with it, doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. You can change. And just because it's a habit, doesn't mean you can't change it. So this is where the people say like these old dogs, can't learn new tricks. That's BS. It's total crap. You can change anytime. And you do it all the time. You change, women, you change your minds all the time. No joke, but right, you change your minds all the time. We all do. But so you have to realize that changing your mind is just as easy as changing a habit. You have to decide, I'm going to do a different habit. I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to do this. And just change. And then when you start tracking it, it holds you accountable. Because then you realize you want to start doing it on a regular occasion and you can see where you don't follow through. When you track it, you can see where you don't follow through. And that's the power of tracking. And as you start tracking, you'll start to see more results. And then when you see the results, it gets exciting. It's kind of like, imagine like pushing a big ball up a hill and it struggles going up to the time, but at some point you build the momentum and then it gets over the top and it starts rolling by itself. And that's what happens with our life. So it may be challenging in the beginning. It may be difficult. It may be a struggle initially trying to implement habits into your life. But once you get going, it gets easier. And then it gets easier and easier. All right, so we're going to end here in just a minute here, but I just wanted to remind you that we do have this 15% off special going on right now. In order to take advantage of the special, you have to place a deposit before the end of this month, and then you have to get the procedure by the end of next month. So this is encouraging the people to get off the bench. Stop sitting on the sidelines. It's time to change your life. This is the opportunity. This opportunity doesn't come around many times. Once a year, maybe twice a year, we'll run a special like this. So this discount is not all the time. This is why a lot of our previous patients, they start taking advantage of this because they realize that it doesn't come around that often. So when we do these specials, you should take advantage of them. Otherwise, you pay full price, and that's cool too. But when you're ready to change, first step is you want to go get that quick quote so you can get the pricing. Once you got that pricing, you're serious about moving forward, then the next step is getting your formal consultation. A formal consultation is a $100 consultation. You're going to meet with myself directly. You're going to show us some pictures so I can kind of get an idea, discuss your situation, then we'll develop a plan for success and execute. So you're in good hands. Okay? Part of me showing up here and talking is that you can get to know me. And you get to understand my philosophy and the way I do things and why I do what I do. This is why I'm here. So once you get to understand me and why and how, maybe it's a good fit, maybe it's not. Maybe you realize that you're better off somewhere else, or I'm the one that can help you get what you want. And if you want what you want, then it's time to start taking action. Get those consultations. Take advantage of this 15% off special. It's not going to last. So you got to place your deposit before the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.